Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to be joined by Mike Anglin today. Thank you, Mike, for making the time. Just as a quick overview, Mike has many years of experience of leading mining operations, including operational excellence, across a long career with BHP and others. From his career, he has seen lots of new technologies that has been introduced in mining operations, which have failed, some succeeded. So I thought for our audience, it would be awesome to have Mike join us and share some of his learnings, and also, give us a perspective on why AI is going to drive a new generation of what we call source of truth systems, and why would that make digital transformation or mining operational improvement stick this time. So welcome, Mike.
Great. Yeah, thanks, Sam. Thanks for the welcome. I think just sort of reflecting on my career, I've been really fortunate in the mining industry. I basically started off working, underground on equipment as a miner. Got all the way through to being a COO in BHP, so running 4 or 5 mines. And in the interim, I've also looked after business development for the company and looked after the technology group. Probably my most exciting and challenging role was a corporate job where I started up Operating Excellence Initiative at BHP and then led it for a number of years. And I think I was trying to summarize all this, and I think probably the most important finding was I think that we in the industry have this great opportunity to add value by improving the way we help people operate safely and more efficiently. And I think that's the way to get the best out of our resources.
Great. With that kind of a background, I wonder. I think as you move to the first question, if I may put towards you, for the benefit of the audience, maybe we should define this question a bit. That there is a lot of systems which are called systems of records, and then there is a new breed of AI-powered systems which are being known as source of truth systems. So maybe for the audience, we can just define, Mike, from your perspective, how do you see these two different types of systems in mining operations?
Yeah, thanks, Sam. I think sometimes you can get confused with all the terminology, but basically the system of record is the systems that we've got used to using. It's basically static. You enter data into an ERP or some sort of geologic system or some mine planning system, and it's really a user-led data entry. And it's really a data record. And then I think as times progress, we've sort of moved more into the knowledge part of it, where we're actually using the data. So that's really the source of truth, which is really operational insight that now is being developed based on the historical data and near real-time data. These are normally data feeds from lots of sources. In a plant, they could be anywhere from flows to densities. But still, these are really running a mining operation by looking at what's happened. So really driving by looking in the rearview mirror. Where we are now with AI, though, is we've sort of created a new category where we can feed off both the real-time and historical data to deliver what we're calling operational intelligence, which is predictive and it's proactive, so it does react. I believe this will assist the mining operators to run operations based on what is going to happen, not what has just happened. So what I'm really excited about is this operational intelligence allows humans to make real-time operational decisions based on the prediction of the future operational states, in the context of the operating conditions that they're actually in. And then they can actually modify and influence those systems to get the best possible outputs. So what we're now calling the sort of source of truth systems really fall under operational intelligence.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And I think one of the key things IntelliSense, we as a company, how we view AI, and we view AI as a support to the human decision making. It is meant to augment human decision making, mostly in mining operations. So, we always believe that the experience of the operations or operators that they have, that needs to be embedded in, but actually AI's job is to make sure that experience gets embedded in and complement that with data driven outputs, and that helps the operators to get their job done better. There is a lot of, as you know, there is a lot of discussion about AI and its role in the society, but we have a fundamental belief that AI is meant to augment human decision making and not replace. So that's why, your view on operational intelligence, on how AI can support this kind of source of truth, is quite interesting.
Yeah, and I think, Sam, just a little bit of context as well. I mean, the mining industry is capital intensive business that is seem to evolve as societies are requiring more and more varied requirements. I mean, the big challenge we face in this day and age is to reduce our carbon footprint, and also to reduce our water usage. So there's a lot of things happening, but at the same time, the industry is facing a talent shortfall and finding and retaining the skills needed for the day-to-day operational management of AI systems. And so to persist in achieving this, it must optimize the way it works, which will require using data to make dynamic operational decisions as the operating conditions, the geology is constantly changing, and also humans and the human variability enters into it. So I think what we have here is that the AI systems are now acting as a digital replica of the operations. And by doing that, they're able to provide forward predictions. Now, they do need regular retraining and performance tracking to act as a single source of truth to assist the operators in making decisions.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of the next question that we've been, looking at, which is, how are these new generational source of truth systems different to what are the challenges that mining industry currently has, and how do you make sure that they are adaptable to industry's needs? With that kind of a background, maybe we can take to the next question, which would look at how are these source of truth systems delivering real-time predictions, because they are more feed-forward systems. But as mining operations, there's a lot of operational risk as well. So how can we ensure that these systems are keeping in mind the operational environment and some of the downside risks that is there?
Yeah, I think you're right there, Sam. I mean, there are huge consequences for any of these systems if they get it wrong. Mining operations tend to be quite dynamic. Once you've made a mistake at one point or you've got something wrong, it takes a while for the system to settle down again. So you really have to build trust in the information you're getting and the knowledge you're getting out of these systems, these feed-forward systems. And I think one of the things that at least has helped me in getting confidence is these scientific AI nowadays that IntelliSense uses is really a combination of first principles. So these are physical or numerical models. For example, in flotation, you can use computational fluid dynamics to build these models. And on top of that, you layer on the data-driven machine learning. So I think you've got this unique combination, which I think really helps deliver accuracy and confidence. The other part, though, is you've built these models, but delivering this in a real operational world with various data conditions, operating changes, providing outputs to the users at the right fidelity and at the right time to assist continuous optimization is pretty difficult. And so you actually need to be able to operate a scalable system for failback mechanisms, which will actually basically deliver the results you're looking for with a high degree of confidence. This is a bit like, for instance, Google operates its infrastructure and its applications around the world.
Yeah, I mean, this is we always believe that building model, as you can imagine, is just one thing, but actually keeping it accurate, delivering results on a continuous basis, and wrapping the software platform around it so that the users can actually take the output of the model in the most easy to understandable way. Just like the way Google search engine operates, or the latest ChatGPT interface, that how it operates. So we have been very much focused on how do you ensure that you abstract the complexity from the end users, and they just focused on the output that the that the underlying system is delivering. Has been a big focus for us over the years because of the downside risk that you talked about. And actually, one of the other things we have been looking at, and we've been seeing a lot of the feedback, is people are very interested in what we call explainable AI, which is, can you explain how the model is actually working? How is it making decisions? And how can we adapt to that? So that is quite another interesting angle in which we see the whole research around AI will move towards, which is trying to give more clarity to humans in terms of how is the model thinking? How can we influence that thought process? So that's another big area that we've been doing a lot of work on as well.
I think Sam, maybe just for a second to go back in time and where we've come from. So the software as a service delivery model really doesn't cater to continuous updates, based on what you just said on the data dynamics, on how users interact. And the other issue is that these old models rely on a big implementation project. There's a handover, there's training, and essentially just gets given over to the operating management group, which really makes it sort of unsuitable for a source of truth system. It's quite static. Whereas a source of truth system really needs to be in sync with the line operations to avoid losing trust in its output. And it has to be a key part of the decision-making process. So you get to this point where you really have to manage this product through its life cycle. And to do it, you've got to have strong data science, you've got to have strong modeling capabilities, you've got to have software engineering, process knowledge. And finally, you've got to have the IT admin skills to make this all work. When I've gone through that, and I was thinking, most mining companies, it's really tough for them to have all those skills. And, they may have them for a while, but then they have to maintain them. And I think that's where it gets tough. Now, also looking forward. Sorry, Sam.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I think, if you look at the question that we're looking at, which is the next question around, why do we need this kind of a different approach that you're talking about in terms of managing and delivering the AI solutions?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the consequences, or one of the things that's happened due to the pandemic. But a lot of operations, mining operations around the world, as you know, are quite remote. And we have become more comfortable as an industry working remotely from these operations. The restrictions of getting to site were quite severe. And I think this has also opened an opportunity where now people are used to working remotely, and we can, for any site, we can contract the best skills and tools that are available. So I think this concept of managed software solutions, where you have a subscription service that not only includes the implementation, but also comes with a dedicated team that sits in the background, that monitors the software product, models the outputs, ensures it's in line with the users' data conditions, site operating condition requirements. So all this sort of gets done with the brightest people you can find. And I think then the users can focus on what's really important to them. They've got to work in a safe manner. They've got to respect the environment. There's a lot of things they're trying to do at the same time, and they can use the output from this software to make operational decisions, based on the recommendations of looking forward.
Yeah. I mean, that's that's the way we see. Excuse me. That's the way we see that how we are augmenting the operator's life or operator's daily job. Not just operators, all the different roles in mine operation. This actually takes us nicely to the next question, Mike, around, what do you like most about this managed software service model that we were just talking about?
I think it's good to have clear lines of accountability in the industry. So the managed software solutions model works well because it's the responsibility for ensuring the software and the model outputs work are correct actually lies with the vendor. So it's pretty clear responsibility. The vendor caters to site changes and processes as they come in, the data, the people, the equipment, and that's all done through regular communication with the site operation teams. The other thing is that the vendor manages upgrades, which can occur quite frequently. maintains the tuned models, addresses different data and user conditions, and develops new models, new technologies to support the correct product output. This is all happening on a fairly continuous basis in the background. So these additional technology and infrastructure investments from the vendor can then be leveraged and amortized across the whole of the customer portfolio, which is another thing that's worth thinking about. The operators then, obviously utilize the outputs from the AI, the software, and these models to manage their processes, and then they can run the plant or the mine, in their optimum state at all times. Whereas, in the background, the vendor's taking care of any issues and ensures that the operation's running smoothly. And I think another thing, not to be taken lightly, Sam, is, and I've spent a bit of time talking to people in the industry about this, is people like the fact that if you contract for a service, just we're talking about, these costs are predictable. And one of the things that's always tricky in the mining industry is trying to work out, what's the payback on these benefits. So now you have a software, a service which is predictable, what the costs are, and at the same time you can see the benefits. So I think that ability to offset costs versus the benefits now is pretty transparent, and I think that's very attractive to executive management.
Yeah, I think that's the bit that we find it very exciting, where these companies like IntelliSense are bringing in these new technologies, and we're continuously making investment in building out new models, building out new software infrastructure that we can deliver these systems in real time. And and it's exciting to hear from you and see that the old methods in the way past generation of software or technology was being delivered, it's not going to work for this kind of a new breed of intelligence-based AI systems. So we are quite excited about introducing the managed software solutions or managed software service angle to the industry, and we feel that this should make companies like IntelliSense move away from just as a vendor to more as a true technology partner to the mining operations. And we are delighted to get some of those thoughts from you, Mike, for our audience, some of whom are already using IntelliSense in their operations, our technology. Some of you are actually looking at how to evaluate our technology. Any final words, Mike, for the audience that you'd like to leave them with?
No, I think, Sam, really thanks for the opportunity to be here. I've been involved in IntelliSense now for a number of years. I've met a lot of the team. I think there's a long journey ahead of us, but I think as a partner, as a valued partner in the mining industry, there's a massive opportunity. And I think the industry is at this stage now where it really needs to return on all the money that's been invested in the sensors, in the background systems. And I think IntelliSense provides this great opportunity to do it in a way that I think will be extremely useful to people in the field.
Great. Thank you very much, Mike. Thanks for coming on our event today.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, Sam. Thanks to the team.
Yes, thank you.